Before our graduates enter, I'd like to ask you your help to allow us to record today's event for all to enjoy. The ceremony is being broadcast live online as well as recorded. We also have professional photographers on hand to capture the moment when students receive their diplomas. So kindly keep the center aisle clear to avoid obstructing the view of the cameras. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Upper School Concert Band, under the direction of Mr. Jim Witt, will play Pomp and Circumstance as the members of the class of 2016 make their way across campus, led by the 11th and 12th grade dean, Mr. Paul Esch. Graduates, you may now be seated. Guests, please take your seats as well. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you the head of Francis Parker School, Kevin Yaley.
This is an absolutely beautiful day. It's an incredible view from here. On behalf of the entire Parker community, I want to welcome all of our guests here today, our families and our friends, our faculty and our staff, members of the Board of Trustees, our commencement speaker, Police Chief Shelley Zimmerman, and, most importantly, our graduates. To the class of 2016, let me be the first to say congratulations. Today is your day. Last week, as I started preparing my remarks for today, I began to wonder, why just me? I might best speak on behalf of those who frequently have mattered most in the eyes of the graduates, their teachers. And so I reached out to faculty, asking for advice they might give to each of you, words they wish to share with you on your commencement day. And in true Parker fashion, I received dozens and dozens of responses. Not to worry, I won't read them all to you today, as much as I might like to. I did, however, keep them all, and I promise to send them to each of you, along with a little care package next fall when you have settled into your new life as college freshmen. Still, I do want to remain true to the promise I made to our faculty and read just a few words they shared with me that they want to pass along to you. And so, from the people who know and love you most, your teachers, wherever you are, whatever you are given, and whatever stands before you, thank somebody for the opportunity. Again, from the teachers, remember to be like that absorbent and yellow and porous pineapple living under the sea, and to always be ready. And finally, when you do move into your dorms, do your laundry and clean your room. It builds character and keeps your friends close. More to come this fall when the care package arrives. Now, I wish to share just a few thoughts with each of you. You've arrived here today at your commencement, having created opportunities for yourself that are full of promise. You are among the best and the brightest, the most thoughtful and generous, and all of us gathered here today could not be more proud of each of you. Our hope is that the life that lies ahead is even more gratifying than what you might imagine for yourself. As you head off to college this fall and start what we will believe will be some of the very best years of your life, I would ask one thing of you. And it may not be exactly what you might expect from your head of school, so I will only ask that you trust me. Slow down, if only on occasion. Now, I will be the first to commend each of you on your tireless pursuit of achievement and your drive towards success. It not only has come to define you, but it will create opportunities that will likely bring you happiness and success, but not necessarily. Not unless you also create the time and the space by slowing down to ensure that this, whatever this is really what you want and exactly where you want to be. Be careful not to simply equate movement with achievement or progress with success. So promise me this. As you leave here today, slow down long enough to think about where you truly want to go and what is right for you. By doing so, your life will be much richer and your success much more gratifying, even if, by slowing down, you end up arriving a few minutes late. People will understand, I promise. Congratulations to each one of you. Do remember that Parker will always be your home and that the Parker family will always be here for you. So come back and see us often. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. There are many standouts among the students in the class of 2016. The next speaker is a young woman who has distinguished herself for her insatiable desire to think, to learn, to ponder, to question. Please welcome the class valedictorian, Ruby Ross.
Hello, Chief Zimmerman, Mr. Yaley, members of the Board of Trustees, parents, faculty, staff, friends, and classmates. I'm so happy to be able to represent the class of 2016 today. And I actually have a little backstory on how I got here. As many of you know, I do a lot of theater, and at junior theater, where I do many of my shows, they take your headshot and they ask you to fill out a little bio. And one of the things that they always ask you is to fill out your future ambition. And as an 8-year-old, I put the oh-so-basic wish to make it on Broadway. But as a 9-year-old, infinitely more wise and self-aware, I listened to my mom, who told me that I should put something more attainable, like becoming valedictorian. Now, at the time, I wasn't really sure what that meant, but I knew that my father and my aunt and both of my grandmothers had achieved this, and I knew I was a good student, so I said, sure, why not? So here's my proof. This is my Jungle Book headshot, featuring my chubby face and gap-toothed smile, and along the bottom, future ambition to become class valedictorian. So, you may be thinking, that's nice for you, Ruby, but this speech is really supposed to be about the class. And don't worry, I'll get there. When I came to Parker, I soon realized that my goal wasn't as attainable as my mother had led on. I entered into a larger and more impressive group of students, and I realized I definitely wasn't the smartest person in the class. But I also knew that your goals shouldn't be something you can easily achieve from your natural abilities. They should be things that push you and force you to make sacrifices. And though it started as something my parents wanted for me, as I entered high school, they really dropped the subject, and I decided it was something I really wanted for myself. So I stuck to it, and yes, it meant that I lost a lot of time to sleep, or social opportunities, or time to watch TV. And yes, having such a goal meant that I'd be really incompatible with a lot of people who didn't understand why I spent so much time on school. And yes, I spent so many nights stressing out over physics and calculus and history tests like any of us would. But in the end, it was worth it because I set an individual goal, I tried my best, and even though it easily could have been someone else up here, I'm glad that it worked out in my favor. But I'm definitely not the only one in the class who has set and achieved a goal. The class of 2016 is extremely impressive overall. We have a National Spelling Bee winner, athletes who have helped Parker win 1, 2, and 3 CAIF championships, people who have started nonprofits on their own, remarkable musicians headed for brilliant careers, students who started a dance team and a debate team that both performed exceedingly well. We have National History Day champions, 2 perfect ACT scores, a globally recognized robotics team, a Ben Vereen Award-winning cast of Chicago, and students who have done hundreds of community service hours beyond the requirement. And that's just a fraction of our class's achievements. And all of this couldn't have happened without Parker. We're all really lucky kids in that we have parents who, no matter how much the tuition or how many long drives or how much time spent helping us, they sent us to this amazing school. Nowhere else would we get to choose between stromboli and tortellini and a plethora of healthy options every day in the cafeteria, or an improv show, an orchestra concert, and a sporting event on the same night. Nowhere else would we get to make unlimited free copies on the library printer and have custodians gladly help us clean up our capstone projects at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night. But more importantly, nowhere else would we have a faculty who cares so much about us. I'm sure each of us have at least 1 or 2 teachers who we think of as friends or second moms and dads. Some are sacrificing higher paying jobs at universities or time spent with their families. Many stay on campus far past what's expected of them, and a lot of them help edit our papers long after we finish taking their courses. That's what's so great about Parker. We all have parents and teachers who love us and want more than anything to see us succeed. But that also has some consequences. With so much privilege comes a lot of expectations and a lot of pressure coming at us from many directions, especially from each other. I can't tell you how many times I've woken up to hear about another classmate's achievement and felt literally sick to my stomach with anxiety. And I know I'm not the only one to feel this way. It's really easy to get caught up in other people's success and feel jealous or insecure. And it's really easy to think someone else has it all, even though we know that's never true. But even if it were, that's life. No matter where you go, you're going to meet people more talented, pretty, more athletic, more artistic, or creative, or intelligent than you. And you have to remember that other people's successes do not diminish your own. I may not be friends with all of you, but I can honestly say that I do see something special in each of you. And we may not all have the same list of tangible accomplishments based on numbers or titles, but that doesn't make you or your accomplishments any less valid or extraordinary. There's a sense of solace when you accept that you can do nothing more than your best. You should set goals that are attainable and challenging for you, ambitions that will make you happy, not things that will look good to other people. A lot of you know exactly what you want in life, and I congratulate you, but a lot of us, myself included, don't know exactly what we want to do as we enter college or even a gap year. But that doesn't mean we should take someone else's dream and call it our own. You should set goals that are tailored for you as an individual. So even though Parker may incite the competitive side in all of us, remember that sometimes it's better to ignore what other people are doing. To reiterate my point, I will now recite an anonymous quote from an unreliable source found on the internet. Your life is about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. You are not in competition with anyone else. Plan to outdo your past, not other people. It may seem trite, but Parker really has provided us with the tools to succeed. Now use those tools, create your own fulfilling goals, and strive for them as only you can. Thank you.
Next comes a young woman selected by her peers from an outstanding group of students who competed for the honor of speaking on behalf of the class of 2016. Welcome the winner of the Commencement speech competition, Lauren Clark.
Every time I sit in a classroom so that I can learn sitting down, I think of all the things I want to be experiencing standing up. I think of all the places I want to go and people I want to meet. I have this urge to uncurl my body so that instead of contracting in around a pencil and a paper, I am facing outwards with wide eyes and open palms, a map in my hand, a road at my feet. Yet, out on this open road with my map and naive expectations, I often find myself empty. I long for a book so that I can know more about where I am going, a teacher that can show me more, or simply pencil and paper, so that I might discover what I was hoping to find staring shamelessly back at me. Maybe there will be answers that I didn't even know I was looking for. Still, every moment I spend wishing that I was somewhere else, I miss the opportunity to be grateful for where I am. So I want to start by thanking this eager class of graduating seniors for sharing a moment with me where hopefully you aren't dreaming of being anywhere but. I want to thank our esteemed faculty, guests, Board of Trustees, family, and friends for being an integral part of today's present. If you were to look at a handbook for commencement speeches, you would probably see that step 1 is to talk about failure, and yet I'm already pretty nervous, so telling you about all the times that I have sucked at life seems less than appealing. Today, I see in front of me all the people who found purpose in preparing us for these unforeseen disasters, whether that be by providing SpongeBob blankets or really addicting mints from college counseling. They have given us everything they couldn't have and taught us everything they never learned. This way, when we are their age, we will be improved in every way, a person built on the empiricists of older generations, living to teach their own experiences to a younger set of eyes, hearts, and minds. I know that has been the goal of our parents, mentors, and teachers from the start, and we are so lucky to have so many amazing people to hopelessly strive to outdo. At the moment, it seems utterly impossible. I don't ever see myself being able to muster as much optimism as Ms. Anderson or as much compassion as Mr. Harrington. I can't imagine being as thoughtful as Dr. Wilson or as dedicated as Mr. Esch. But it is the messages of these people and the rest of the faculty spread out over groggy mornings and hungry pre-lunch classes that make up any and all wisdom that I leave you with. For instance, when we left for the weekend and Mr. Taylor called out, "Don't get caught," or Miss Lamont reminded us to make good choices as she echoed the concerns of our own mothers. These simple phrases, thoughts, and teachings have formed the interlocking web of everything that I have learned, as each lesson held a discovery to be made behind the textbook material. Even as students, we have each crafted separate strings like that of a spider, but we have done so in the same place, at the same time, and need not compete when our work together can stand so strong. I had to write my final French presentation on the Marabou Bridge. Apollinaire talked of the hearts and hands that bound the bridge together, connecting two different worlds. I bring this up only to attempt to grapple with what it means to be connected. The class of 2016 is connected by a title. We are connected by a shared location, though our means of getting there vary. Some of us have struggled in the same classes, been on the same sports teams. Some of us are connected by similar lines on our resumes. However, the connection that brought us together like the hands of the Marabou Bridge is sturdy for reasons beyond those listed above. I probably won't remember your resume, but I will remember the quiet girl who taught her class what it meant to have spontaneous courage. I will remember the boy who found this courage deciding to be unapologetically himself before I even knew what that meant. I will remember the ASB leader who told me, "I just want someone who will represent us and what we stand for when we graduate." I will remember the friends who sang and made jokes to distract me from the fact that we were plummeting vertically to our deaths. This is not metaphorical. We were on a notorious roller coaster at Magic Mountain, and I was pretty convinced that that was the end. At this point, as I move toward the conclusion of my speech, I remind myself I don't have to be nervous. These aren't my lessons. This is not my wisdom that I am sharing or lessons that I am in any way qualified to profess to you. Lessons that, as you can see, so many of my peers taught me. So as we depart to mark uncharted territories, I remain confident that we will all find new webs to configure and new people to grow with. Maybe our hearts will hurt for new reasons. But at least, like Apollinaire, we can find comfort in this bridge, among this community of learners. Remember that we can always look to follow in the footsteps of these teachers who made our job of being better than them nothing short of ridiculous, and yet no one else could have given us better equipment to try. They make up the stitching, the basis of every web, the very fabric of these walls. They make Parker somewhere I want to come back to. Now, when I say better, don't mistake the pursuit of improvement with perfection. For Parker, a place that produces doctors, lawyers, scholars, and innovators has perhaps surprisingly taught me that perfection should not be a priority. Honestly, sometimes the words good enough on an assignment meant helping my little sister with her math homework. It meant extra moments of dance practice or maybe another hour of sleep. Still, I hope that you all can find something that works the other way around so that you are striving for perfection on the account that being good enough will never be a reasonable option. This diploma for me is all about not finishing. It's about taking way too long, caring too much about something no one else does. It's about never being done or complete, but forever gathering myself into a project I can be proud of. But that's just me. I know that each of you are so varied that there is no way for me to categorize our class into another simple picture of crowded caps and gowns. I know that I was lucky enough to be touched by those of you whose stories I can attest to. And I know that while I stand here as a small part of your process, you have all been a large part of mine. I'm confident that when you get the chance to take on life standing up, rather than at a desk, you'll have more to protect yourself than a map and naive expectations. That way, when you walk forward, with your palms face up toward the sky and a 100% chance that the clouds won't always remain at bay, you will have all the strength to continue in the direction you started. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Now I'd like to invite the senior class representatives, Indiana Yaley and Seth Markow, to the podium to introduce our keynote speaker. Technical error, one sec. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Barsky. It is an honor and privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, San Diego Chief of Police, Shelley Zimmerman. Chief Zimmerman was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and is a graduate of The Ohio State University. She is also a graduate of the FBI National Academy.
Along with overseeing one of the nation's largest police departments, Chief Zimmerman has assisted in the security planning for several large events, including the Super Bowl, the Republican National Convention, and the always popular 4th of July holiday at the beach, where more than 1 million people gather each year.
A number of our classmates had the chance to sit down with Chief Zimmerman and hear a bit about her life path. We also shared about what makes this group of seniors so remarkable.
So let's put our hands together and give a warm Parker welcome to San Diego Police Chief Shelley Zimmerman.
We could probably add one more event to that just in the last week. Indiana and Seth, Kathy Purdon, Kevin Yaley, Paul Barsky, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, parents, and graduates. Thank you very much for your kind introduction and invitation to join you today. As Chief of Police, I'm proud to share this day with all of you. I want to thank the parents and family members that are with us today who have sacrificed to make this day possible. When your son or daughter graduates from high school, it's a wonderful day for your entire family. Graduates, you have worked hard for this day. Congratulations to all of you for your extraordinary work in achieving the accomplishments you have just earned. This is a special moment for each of you, each for a different reason. You come from different backgrounds, different circumstances. You each have a unique story that has brought you here today. But what unites us is the never-ending desire to capture our dreams, the quest to fill our full potential, to excel in every way imaginable. So it is very appropriate that you are graduating right here in San Diego, because we are a city where the possibilities are endless. Right here in San Diego, we are home to explorers, to inventors, and history makers. In San Diego, Charles Lindbergh flight tested the spirit of St. Louis before his historic transatlantic trip. In San Diego, Tony Hawk found a love for skateboarding that helped propel the sport to worldwide prominence. In San Diego, the sport of triathlon was invented and is now enjoyed by thousands of people across our globe. And right here in San Diego, Erwin Jacobs and Andrew Viterbi co-founded Qualcomm, which pioneered modern wireless telecommunications and connected our entire world. And I believe right behind us, this graduation ceremony takes place in front of the Viterbi Science Building. So that is just fantastic. So what does this mean? It means that it is now your turn to write your own San Diego history. And as you make your own personal history today, I am going to challenge you to go forth and make our city and our entire world a better place. In 1962, before any of you were born, President John F. Kennedy challenged America to land a man on the moon by the end of the decade. And he said, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Because this goal will serve to organize and measure the very best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one which we intend to win. And we are going to accomplish this by inventing things that currently do not exist." So what does this mean? It means your learning is never over. Imagine if we can learn something new every single day. And what would we do with that knowledge? The journey through life is rarely a straight line. There will be many twists and turns. I will tell you, my advice is to embrace your twists and turns, because they may lead you to places that you never imagined were possible. As you heard, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and yes, I graduated from the Ohio State University. I never could have predicted that my journey would take me here today. A football game changed my life. In 1980, I attended the Rose Bowl and watched my Buckeyes lose in the closing minutes to USC by 1 point. You don't have to cheer. And now, 36 years later, I am still not over it. But I believe that you can turn a bad experience into something good. So after that painful defeat, I fulfilled a lifelong dream to visit our world-famous San Diego Zoo. And after seeing our wonderful zoo and our beautiful beaches, I made a decision right then and there that I had shoveled my last driveway. I returned home, and after graduating, I jumped on a plane with only $200 in my pocket, one suitcase, and my guitar. When I got off the plane here in San Diego, I did not know anyone. I did not have a job. I didn't even have a place to stay. Now, I want to assure everyone, as your police chief, I plan much better now. My dad was a trial attorney in Cleveland, and I always thought that I would go to law school. That is what I still thought I would do in San Diego, and I applied to be a San Diego police officer, thinking that that job would help me pay for law school. In 1982, I attended the 13th Regional Police Academy at Miramar College, and from day one, from the very first day, I fell in love with being a police officer, and I never went to law school. What I fell in love with was the opportunity to make a positive difference in someone's life every single day. If you didn't know, we get on average about 1.2 million calls into our communication center every year. And I guarantee you, we do not get the calls that say, please hurry, our child made honor roll and the celebration's about to begin. We get the calls that say, please hurry, someone is hurt, someone is breaking into our home, people are scared, I hear crying. And when we get there, we have that opportunity to make a positive difference in someone's life, and usually at their worst possible moment. This badge that we all proudly wear is not just a piece of polished metal. It represents the people of San Diego. It represents all of you. It is our symbol of service above self, of honor, of dedication, of personal courage, of professionalism, and the oath we all took to protect and serve. One of the other things I like most about being a police officer is that we get to use every bit of knowledge we have ever learned, no matter how important or seemingly meaningless, because we do come across such a variety of situations. And I want all of you to know that we are hiring, and you too can have that opportunity. My career has also taken a lot of twists and turns, and I have embraced each and every one of them. One of the assignments early in my career was when I was selected to work an undercover assignment at Patrick Henry High School. There were numerous reports of rampant and blatant drug dealing on campus. I talked myself into school as a junior. Yes, I said I talked myself into school. Very unlikely that that could happen today. And my job was not to get straight A's, but to infiltrate the drug culture and rid the school of drug dealers. I ended up purchasing more than 100 illegal narcotics from the students, including PCP, cocaine, methamphetamine, marijuana, and LSD. In the end, 72 students were arrested. Now keep in mind, this was many years before 21 Jump Street was even a TV show, let alone a movie with a sequel. I have had many assignments throughout my career, but I never worried about what assignment came next. I just worked as hard as I could in the assignment I had, and things just fell into place. And today, I am honored for the privilege to be the Chief of Police of the San Diego Police Department. Now, I know being the first woman police chief in our department's history, some would think was an accomplishment. I have to admit, I didn't even realize the true significance of being the first female police chief, but I do now, because of what continues to happen almost every day, and that is the number of families, and quite frankly, more fathers than mothers, that come up to me with their young daughters asking if they could take a picture with their daughters, telling their daughters, honey, this is the chief of police. Here is proof that you can accomplish anything you want in the world. And then I add, yes, you can, but you have to be willing to work hard. So in closing, don't be afraid to chart uncharted waters, to travel down those unfamiliar paths, to invent the next product that will transform our world, or to be the inspiration for not just your generation, but for all generations. Embrace and enjoy your journey. Congratulations, class of 2016.
Thank you so much, Chief Zimmerman, for your words of wisdom to this remarkable class. And now comes that part of the ceremony that we have all been waiting for. Once a year, I have the great privilege as head of upper school of assisting Mr. Yaley in conferring diplomas to each of the graduates. As I enjoy this role, our college counseling faculty will call out the name of the graduates. Ms. Terry Devine, Dean of College Counseling, will begin with the first group of graduates. She will be followed by the directors of College Counseling, Jasmine Taylor and Bob Hurley.
Graduates, please step forward as I call your name, and remember to pause for the photographer after receiving your diploma. Group 1, please stand. Ruby Francis Ross. Ashna Agarwal. Seth Starr Markow. In recognition of their service to our school, trustees, former trustees, and faculty members who are parents of a graduate are invited to assist in presenting their student with their diploma. Indiana May Yaley. Her father, head of school Kevin Yaley, and her mother, Shauna Yaley. Dre William Gerger. Emily Michelle Purdon. Her mother, board chair Kathy Purdon, and her father, Sandy Purdon. Henry Soren Malcolm Aceves. Mila Andrews. Trevor Collins Appel. Austin Henry Brian Lucius Arthur. Josh Babla. Max Emilio Baez. Virginia Manuela Barba. Grace Elizabeth Barrett. Braxton Vincent Bell. Alexander James Blood. Cameron Parker Bonilla. Anushka Raina Bose. Maurice Boyance. Group 1, you may be seated. Group 2, please stand. Catherine Signey Grace Brandon. Julia Claire Brickney. Rachel Marie Bruno. Her father, Greg Bruno, and her stepmother, Nancy Anderson, grade 9 dean. Cameron Riley Burnett. Jennifer Esmeralda Cantabrana. Mitchell A. Cap. Allison Townsend Carey. Nadia Yvonne Carrillo. John Rossiter Carruthers. Lauren Victoria Clark. Her father, trustee Andrew Clark, and her mother, Catherine Clark. Andrew Jack Calvin Cross III. Juliana Rose Dioria. Hannah Nicole D'Onofrio. Her father, upper school teacher Jared D'Onofrio, and her mother, Sandy D'Onofrio. Hadley Noel DeBello. Adam B. DeLue. Group 2, you may be seated. Group 3, please stand. Alexander Devereaux. John Baker Dodge. James Edward Ehrenfeld. Yasmina Esfahani. Carlos Emiliano Esquero Walter Mead. His grandmother, former trustee Yolanda Walter Mead. Ryan Robert Frazee. His father, former trustee Daniel Frazee, and Parker alumnus, and his mother, Susan Frazee. Isaiah Gomez Galase. Cien Gallup. Theodore David Gehring. Stella Diane Gerson. Alejandra Goins.
Brian James Golem. Isaac Philip Gray. His mother, trustee Sarah White, and his father, David Gray. Gabriel Michael Gross-Sable. Timothy John Harrison. Simon Whitney Hart. Hayden Michael Hastings. Olivia Lynn Heifetz. Lily Ellison Horn. Jennifer Ann Irving. Her father, former trustee and Parker alumnus Craig Irving, and her mother, Rebecca Irving. Nicole Jennifer Keeney. Kennedy Wolford Kidd. Alexander Michael Kramer. Olivia Corbo Lawrence. Group 3, you may be seated. Group 4, please stand. Daniel Leibowitz. Jonathan Henry Lemberg. Caroline Jane Lesney. Catherine Madeline Anna Liang. Her father, former trustee Bert Liang, and her mother, Diane Liang. Eric Robert Linson. Adam Richard Linson. Nicole Guerrier Magbanwa. Athena N. Malcolm. Leah Rashad Mayberry. Corey Daniel McAuliffe. Matthew Dow Miller. Emma Alice Moore. Connor Sean Morrill. Lainey Bruner Moss. Jonas Benjamin Munson. Tara N. Nafisi. Snigdha Nandapati. Anna Nazari. Christopher Newsom. Group 4, you may be seated. Group 5, please stand. Alexander Michael Nasita. Jake Thomas Nuffer. Michael Alexander Palaise. Jasmine Aaliyah Perquette. Victoria Lynn Ralston. Nicholas Aaron Rao.
Wolf Matthew Recht. His mother, upper school teacher Melanie Taylor, and his father, Robert Recht. Sarah Ann Reed. Josue Rodriguez Mora. Austin Jeffrey Rogers. Benjamin Eric Sackerson. His grandmother, former trustee Paulette Forster. William Reese Sammons. Braden Anthony Salvati. Emily Kenna Sarthau. Aaron R. Schindelar. Joseph M. Silverstein. Matthew Connor Smith. Morgan Elise Smith. Samuel Andrew Stanton. Ephraim Robert Steigerwald. Haley Marcina Stewart. Glenn Edward Sullivan. Megan Rhodes Tankersley. Mark Paul Tardieu. Group 5, you may be seated. Group 6, please stand. Louis Aaron Tauber. Jonathan Allen Taylor. His mother, trustee Mary Taylor, and his father, Lawrence Taylor. Matilda Louise Thomas. Charlotte Rose Thorson. Simone Isabel Tift. Mary Elizabeth Tobin. Andreas Attilio Towers. Blake Dean Trosson. Austin Sinclair Troutman. Alyssa Ruth Feliz. Uthara Vengray. Angelica Carlin Vera. Andrew Lester Vessel. Scott Harrison Wace. Justin Marco Washaba. Madeline Rose Williams. Jennifer Morgan Weinholtz. Her father, upper school teacher Chuck Weinholtz, and her mother, Laura Weinholtz. Rex James Wynn. Caroline Elizabeth Wall. Her mother, trustee and Parker alumna Caroline Wall, and her father, Emil Wall. Athena Eden Zander. Group 6, you may be seated.
Only 5:08.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, I will ask the graduates to stand. But before I do, I invite you to join us after the ceremony for a brief celebration in the middle school quad, which is just behind you. Following the ceremony, photographers from Studio M will be available in Lawrence Middle School Commons to take family portraits. We will conclude now with the turning of the tassel and a salute to our graduates. Will the members of 2016 please rise? They do look great. So traditionally, The turning of the tassel at commencement symbolizes the transition from candidate to graduate. Protocol dictates that the tassel be worn on the right side of the mortarboard at the start of the ceremony and then turn to the left side. Students, you may turn your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor and privilege to present to you the graduates of the class of 2016. So family members and friends, now on behalf of leadership, faculty, and staff of Francis Parker School, I thank you for your presence here today as we celebrate the milestone in the lives of this remarkable class and these remarkable young people. Please remain seated until the last graduates have exited the ceremony. Trustees and faculty, please rise to begin the recessional.